My name is Al, and I'm with People Advocating Cannabis Education. PACE is about people who promote cannabis through educational documentaries or by doing it in the public. Today we are at the Grindhouse Cafe in Campbellford, and I'd like to welcome our cannabis advocate as our guest who's going to talk to us about the alternative non-smoking ways of consuming cannabis. And I'd like to introduce to everybody Jennifer Collett. Hello, Jennifer.
How are you doing?
Good. And yourself?
Great.
Good, good. To do a bit of an introduction to yourself, as far as who you are and stuff, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, like your education, maybe some of your hobbies, what you do for a living, so on and so forth?
Sure. I'm a holistic health care provider. I'm on maternity leave right now. My husband and I just had our fifth child. Um, I work with cannabis and pain management, and I try to teach people about the alternatives to the traditional narcotics that are available currently.
Now, when I first met you, you were doing a Bill S10 meeting with Normal Canada. You had a business that you were doing out of your house and stuff like that, and dealing with patients.
Yeah, actually, we were down. We owned a building that's not there anymore, and I work out of my home and go into people's homes, teaching them about what they need to know.
Oh, directly right into the house, or like in the old days, house calls.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Patients can't get out of their house, right? So one go to
Correct.
them.
Correct. Because the last time I had talked to you, you had talked about you had some new things that you were going to work on. So it's good to see that doing house calls is very important to people. So,
It is, yes.
so what brought you into the medical cannabis community? Was it something someone suggested to you, or just something that you believe? I guess your training as well might put you that way too.
It did. For the last 10 years, a little bit over 10 years, as I was studying, I was privately using cannabis. And it was here in Peterborough, there was a big stigma attached. And then finally, I met an advocate who helped me get my medicine and do it legally. And I just got pissed off. There were so many people who were put down or stigmatized, or and it was ruining their lives, and we were wasting so much money putting people in jail. And especially as a holistic healthcare provider, I could see the benefit. I worked with a lot of clients who used cannabis and things like energy therapies. So when they work together, you see some phenomenal results. So that's what made me jump in.
And each time that you see these phenomenal results, I bet your heart glows a little more and wants you to do it more and more again and again.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's right.
So are you involved in the cannabis community in other ways?
I don't know how much I'm involved in it. I try to stay supportive. We've got so many great advocates out there and already have so many different people that are making a difference. I feel like it's my job to support those people so that they don't give up.
Correct. It's always good to support them. That's right. That's what we're hearing here. We have a few people here that are watching and listening. They stuck around during our bit of our problems there. So, I understand that you have a bit of an appointment or engagement coming up soon. You've been involved in bringing awareness to the cannabis community through a walk.
Oh, gosh, yeah, the Canadian Freedom Walk. Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. We're walking from Peterborough to Queen's Park, and it's about raising awareness, showing what cannabis can help you do. I have chronic pain, fibromyalgia, and sleep issues, as well as having 5 kids. And I'm definitely not, out on a limb here when I say that cannabis has helped me become a better person and parent. So it's time to start showing people in a non-threatening way. That's the best way I could do it.
So you're planning on doing another walk?
The walk this year is October 19th to 22nd. So we're going to be, again, leaving Peterborough on the 19th and then coming into Queen's Park on the 22nd, hopefully. We'll cross our fingers.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. That's right. Okay. So today we've been talking about or showing video on alternative uses of cannabis. A lot of people only think about smoking of it when there's several other ways. Um,
Yeah.
so that's what we're going to talk a little bit about. First thing I want to touch on, which we didn't see in the video we showed earlier, was butter. A lot of people make butter. People make it in different ways. Um, are you a butter maker?
You mean the food butter?
Correct. Correct. Correct.
Yes.
With the
Yes.
two T's. Two T's. Yes.
Yes. I use a crock pot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you just do the crock pot, butter, cannabis, no water.
Yeah, actually, I do use a little bit of water in it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. And it just sort of comes out, I guess. Eh? Yeah. Because some
it
people
does.
like to put it on a big pot on the stove and then put the cannabis, the butter, and the water in it. And I've also seen people do the crock pot with just the cannabis and butter and allow it to simmer.
Yeah.
Correct.
I
Correct.
have to use the crock pot. It's a lot safer for my product because of the 5 kids. You just
Yeah.
can't
Oh
stand.
yeah. Yeah. For sure. You got your hands full with 5 kids.
I do.
Okay. Now people only think of brown. A lot of people think of brownies and cookies when they talk about baking. Is there any other items offhand that you like to make, or know of people that what people like to make?
Spaghetti. Yeah.
Spaghetti. With,
Yeah.
so is that something you would just sort of add your cannabis in on top as a topping, or is that are you're cooking, you're putting the butter into the water before you cook the spaghetti, or what?
No, you can put the butter on after. Actually, the best way that I've found for spaghetti is just the noodles and then the butter on the noodles. So
Uh, ah, wow. Yeah,
it's easier
got
to do
getting some
that.
O's and R's in here.
It's easier to do that because you don't want the rest of the family getting your medicine, right? So you've got to
Correct.
make your own.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yep, exactly. Now, not everyone can consume butter high cholesterol because of being high cholesterol. Um,
hmm
got any other recommendations that along that same line? Like, would milk be the same idea as butter?
I've heard, I haven't actually tried, but I've read some really good recipes, and I've heard that that would work, like cream, more than
Yeah,
milk.
yeah.
You could put it into your coffee, but that's where tinctures and things like that really come in handy. You know, you just
Uh,
drop a couple drops under your tongue.
just straight on your tongue instead of.
Yeah.
Before I leave the cooking, one last question, and I'm asking all of you this weekend, sort of the same question along this line is, because I get different stories when it comes to cooking with cannabis, and some people say that your oven can be too hot and you actually break the cannabis down. Um, do you know anything along that line where you should actually, if you're baking your cookies, you should bake them at like 275 instead of 350 or 375?
I've heard don't go above the 350. And yeah, if you're cooking, I mean, there's lots of cookie recipes you cook at your 275.
Yeah,
So stay in there.
and they'll cook right through, so you don't end up with a half doughy cookie, right?
That's true. Yeah.
Good, good. Okay, now we're gonna move on. Since you mentioned tinctures, we'll move on to tinctures. You've made some tinctures in the past.
Yeah, actually, I have, but I trust other people more because they've obviously made them more.
Right.
One of my favorite tinctures is glycerin.
Glycerin. Yes, we saw a
Yeah,
bit of that on the video earlier. Well, glycerin, and there's also the alcohol way of making
yeah.
them as well. Myself, I know
Very-
that I like the idea of the glycerin
Yeah,
because alcohol is supposed to be separated from my medications. I'm not allowed to drink. Actually, two of my
yeah.
medications tell me to stay away from alcohol. So the glycerin one does come in handy. Now, that would probably be an answer for somebody, obviously, with the butter issues and stuff like that. So with the glycerin, um, are they basically made the same way as the alcohol and the glycerin, the procedures?
They are. The glycerin takes longer, right? But
Yeah.
Yeah, they're basically made the same
Basically
way.
the same way, just soaking your glycerin or soaking your alcohol and your cannabis. Give it a shake every once in a while and give it what, a few weeks, a month to.
There's some that say a couple of weeks, but I have actually, here I can show you, one in my cupboard that's been sitting here for months. And you just want to make sure that you cover it.
Yeah.
Right? So that
Oh
it
yeah.
doesn't get, and you're going to tilt it. That's it.
That's it. Just
And
shake
that's
it.
as much as I do with it.
And that doesn't sound like anything that's too hard to do, eh? And then you'll just turn
No, and
around.
it's safe.
And then you'll just
What
turn
was
around.
that?
You'll just turn around and strain that through a cheesecloth,
Absolutely.
and then you've got yourself a tincture.
That's right.
So something that's so simple and so easy to be made that other people seem to have a problem with. Let's see what else here on the tinctures. Obviously, you said you mentioned you like the glycerin ones better. The show that we watched. Now you mentioned the tinctures under your tongue. You can add to your coffee, your tea, stuff like that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
During the show, they talked about putting in your bath water.
Oh, I've never heard of that.
I've never heard of that either. I asked Adam last night, and he said the same thing. He'd never heard of that. But
Oh, what would
absorption into your skin.
I don't know. I'd have to see and try it out.
Yeah.
I definitely wouldn't put it with the Epsom salts because, I mean, the Epsom salts draw the toxins out. But, yeah, I don't know. I'll try that one.
Yeah. Now, they also talked about a mouthwash, which was new to me yesterday as well. It was a mouthwash thing. I guess the procedure would be just put some in a glass of water, rinse it through your mouth, and spit it out, I guess, eh?
I guess so.
Like
It would be absorbed through the gums and underneath the tongue, just like a tincture would, right? So
Right.
that's not sound like a bad idea.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Let's see. We're gonna move from the tinctures. Oh, what else? Now we can. I guess you can also add your tinctures into your juice, right?
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, and tinctures also allow you to travel anywhere. Go to a movie if you're dealing with some pain issues at that time. A quick tincture under the tongue or into your drink while you're there at the show or wherever, and that keeps everything undercover, I guess, if you want to look at it that way.
That's
Okay.
true. Movie theaters are a good example because people sitting in those chairs for extended periods of time, it hurts, right?
Oh, it does. It does. I have there's a fellow who stops by the movies quite often, and he doesn't come in and watch them very often because of that. He can't sit long enough to be able to watch the show, but he likes to come, talk to people and anxious to get some questions answered and stuff. Right? So yeah, if tinctures, if you had a tincture, then you could come in and sit and watch the program.
And I find tinctures are really on par with smoking because of the fast absorption under the tongue, and it's just like
Under
that.
the tongue. That's right. Yeah. Okay, just a minute. Gonna take a quick break. Be right back.